Chumden de Gombon Jahorayan La Shan Zalo, Gango Lodrö, Jimne, Jimjani, the Namda Razer. Jenyen Dongo, Jijan, Zujerani, Dagara Lawanza, Ganda, the Bezora, Margamando, Dimmer, Jizer. Rozo Gala, Ju, Darje, Yala, Dubje, Anton, Rutraji, Monia, Loli, Jijan, Domzach. Maru Mazir Dungurum Yaga Jenny Jomzara Junam Doni Dajans Chindazo Yundali Yaji Duga Jadab Jadab Jenny Janjim Dalu Mazir Jahurayan Landada Umara Bazanada 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 Umara Bazanad, Tudun Jijin Jero, Zerji, Dalu, Damam, Barazan, Quadan, Damju, Jean-Lou, Domai, Lodrö, Bubi, Nawa, Jed, Sor. Nyaji Jimbo, Zuden, Nume, Jean, Zone, Molum, Jimbo, Adiat. Pagaradangan Zandu Jermado, Dumba Diji Jala Shanzarlo. Tatirang Matsundanayo Pivi, Tani Jupachsuko, Tani Lomana Batam Chutang, Tani Gato Poba, Yamambozun to Tini Tamchela Gongmo Delakan Samjigin.
Good evening to everyone who is gathered here tonight, all the Rigpa students and also the Tibetans who have come along too.
Tani tari nga tang jipa tani Rigpa chusukonala yongbare tani tangbo senila tani Rigpa chusukonala song tani tang niba tani kambara la yang tani Rigpa chusukonala song tani yang kirtalo yang tani sini tani Rigpa song tani tarin tani tang jibayin.
This evening is actually my fourth time to give a teaching at a Rigpa center. The first time was last year in Sydney, and then this year I had a chance to give teachings in the Canberra Rigpa Centre and then at the Sydney Centre again. So tonight here in Newcastle is my fourth time.
Tani Rigpa Chutsoko tani lama so girimbocheda tani ngaso lama yujinoro tani kong namba halipa tengnang nipore.
Sogyur Rinpoche and my root guru, my teacher, Khenpo Phuntsok, were very close in their minds.
Tani tendi imbi jimtsenji ngaso Rigpa Chutsok tani zambalanga sacha kala yo nayang tani ngarangso yang tela gaboche yo.
So for this reason, wherever we go and we encounter or we meet with a Rigpa center and its students, we feel very happy.
Tani muksar ka jigo wachigla nga tsu Rigpa Chutsok tani sacha jamba tang mandrawa chini sacha ndela yopi Rigpa Chutsok tani nga tsu sangni la yongkang ka tani pobatso ka tani chu nyaya ta tani tsokban tsoya ta tsutok la muksar ka tani pe gyapkyur chimbo nanganda pe nyang tabani kwadran chijigin.
And there's something special about the Rigpa Centre here in Newcastle that I'd like to mention, and that is the support that's given by the centre to the local Tibetan community who are able to come here and conduct their activities and conduct their Dharma practice. And I would just like to give my sincere and heartfelt thanks for the support that Rigpa is giving to the local Tibetan community.
Tani gazo boba nzambo langna yo sosola tani boba mangbo tani tani jamni taga dendu yinayang kozo changma tani chulugla tapa pe yakbo yongkan tani tatare gazo boba yin sardi chu jibna tani jib samkan yongkan tani tatare yinayang tani ta sacha dewa la tani boba zo sargaton tani reyongdi tani chusokta tezo yakbo meni tani chu jib saga tani sacha te yakbo zo gana yinayang yongkan mandu.
In general, there are Tibetans now all around the world gathered in communities, and we are a people of great faith, and in general, Tibetans are very keen to practice the Dharma. However, given the fact that in many places there aren't appropriate Dharma centers or conditions for practice, there in fact are many Tibetans who don't practice the Dharma or don't come to Dharma centers to do so.
사천 대화라 옛날 때니 보바츠 르바 추소코나라 용네 돈반도야 로종시야 따소 약보 용데 되니 고소라 베 약보 용근도 고소 셈페 가근도 때나 되니 가서 문터니 된디 그 잡교로 나와라 되니 과든치 문터니 잡교 나오르지.
So that the Tibetan community here in Newcastle can come here, they can do chanting, they can study. I thank you very much for the support that's been given up until now, and hope very much that this support can be ongoing.
Teni tonda nipala ta ngarang so derang ga chutete teni da chya kare teni nga so derang ga chutusha bandi teni lama yujnoro teni sunga teni tiftum lai ngadra zero teni tando teni samala teni marjure.
The topic of this evening's teaching is the Victory Doha, the Sound of the Celestial Drum by Khenpo Phuntsok.
Teni nga so chutu chudap shekala teni nga so chutu shakare teni di oto teni chutu shekaza kanangla teni nga so jwa telo shene teni chuso ko samlo jiri teni shekare.
So I'd like to give a teaching for about 1.5 hours this evening, and then reserve about half an hour for questions you might have.
Tani nga so mi mamboz nafshogla tani tanga so tani poker tani lama chashu tani lama zangshu lama angtangbo ti so tani nga so zambalang tani sacha mamboz la tani par jamsongwares.
To the Tibet's greatest lamas, Tibet's finest lamas, you could say, are scattered all around the world.
Tani tendi imbi jimsenji tani ta chesoye na ten zamalanga sharshogre kabardan nufshogla tani Yoruburi America rin the so na la yongken me mambo tani nga so Australia la tatang bore tani cheso nga so popa lama tani angtangbo te so tani yesuso go tani tenyata tani korang so gondani wangjia chazia tani ga tani korkape yakbo mambo thoyare.
And so for this reason, students in other countries, in Asia, but particularly in the West, particularly in America and in Europe, and also here in Australia, students like yourselves have the opportunity to receive empowerments and to receive teachings from some of the finest teachers of the Tibetan Buddhist tradition. And to rely on such teachers in your Dharma practice is a really wonderful opportunity to have.
Tane perna gacho lo kashi lo ni gongla tane agong ramboche tane ndene tane korang la jiden tane oksofar la tane korang la jiden ga tane tsonda tane jin soksong ti tokla tane korang ga zambalang ga tane te loma mambo lebndu.
A couple of years ago, when Agong Rinpoche passed away, there was a memorial meeting or a memorial conference that was held in Oxford, and many of his former students gathered at this conference.
Tani jiden ti tola tani ngarang yang tani rojire song tani ti kapsa tani koso loma mambo yari yone tani mambo zuka kaja shasong tani kaja ti sola tani nyangi tani ngarang la tani korkup shongsongs.
And during the conference, many students spoke about their experience in being students of Agong Rinpoche, and I had the chance to hear what they said.
Tani loma ti so mang chi shusa tani ta korang so Agong Rinpoche tani tenni lama tenni tani lo ngapjiyin lo jibjiyin tani lo sumshiyin tani zenken takdak rendus.
And most of them all gave accounts of how they had been students of Agong Rinpoche for 30 years, 40 years, and even 50 years.
Tani koso tendi yin rambo chigo nangla teni te lama chik teni teni lojong she ne teni samba chick tola teni lama chigla teni ta teni tapa jane teni lojong shine yarangbo teni parchir message chipo te tina la teni lama chick teni tapa tambo shine teni de dendos.
These were students who had essentially relied on this single teacher for their entire lives, reposing their faith in him, studying with him, and practicing with him in an extremely stable way.
Tani nipadanga so America la tani yang jongbaran bochi ga tani loma tani mambola yang athusons.
And then last year I also had the opportunity to meet with many of the former students of Trungpa Rinpoche.
Tani korang so tarta yena tani koso mangboz tani ta lo trikchi, lo dunchi, tana tani lo kyachi tani resangan tani res.
And now many of these students are 60 or 70 or even a few 80 years of age.
Tani Jongbaran bochi tani ndene tata yang tani yang rambore charsongare.
Of course, it's been a long time now since Trungpa Rinpoche passed away.
Yenang korang pe taba changmala tani taba halipa taba korang so lamala gawa tang taba tati so pe halipa kozola tarung duks.
However, their love and their faith for their teacher is still extremely strong.
Tani korang so ze nanga so tangbo lama ga lorgi shane sama gajak jabne tani shi tani shatsari jini yang sama ngu chima tang tani shi gyo ze kozo tari zegandus.
And they were all students, when they told stories about their teacher, they would end up crying and shedding tears.
Tani ti nangla korang Jongbaran bochi ga tani loma yang rambo tani shi denkan ga tani gabo tani gargi tani singdus.
And there was one man in particular who had been a student of Trungpa Rinpoche for a very long time.
Tani korang ga kyumni para korang ga leka lesa korang ga zhongli khangla paran rogona tani lamka zhonglum ga nala lamka khachi ginni tani rogo ndus.
And in order to get from his home to the place where he worked, it was necessary to go to wind around a few streets.
Tani ko ngama tani korang lo chungchung imbi kapsu korang ga lama yobi kapsu tani korang lamka tinala paran rowi kapsu kapsu tani Jongbaran bochi ga tani langkhur tangne gyamne yone tani korang la lagda shini tani shini rogo resi.
And sometimes when he was younger and when Trungpa Rinpoche was still alive, as he would be going along the road, Trungpa Rinpoche would be behind him and he would wave to him.
Tani Jongbaran bochi ndeni yang rambo tani rete yenna yang tarung yenna tarta yang tani ko kapsu tani te lamka te solan rowi kapsu tani korang ga sem ga nala chi marki banda ta mare banda tani mambo yongwi kapsu tani korang kapsu korang ga Jongbaran bochi jamne langkor tangne yone te korang la lakba igwanda o tani ga nangwa korang yonggendu te yongdi te korang ga sem ga nane te mare banda o ta dungor nrada te marga wa ta marki patsama lamsang menro undugzi tani zegandus.
And what he said was that even these days when he drives along the road, or sometimes when he's feeling down, he's feeling a bit despondent, he recalls those memories of when Trungpa Rinpoche was coming from behind him, driving a car and waving to him, and in recalling these memories, in an instant his bad feelings and his despondent feelings dissolve. He feels this way even after so many years.
Tani kērāng sōyāng, nē mūs chīrī lōdhī hāgō yō mārē sē, mārē tē yin nāyāng, pē nā tē sōdhyā rāmbō chē tēni, tā nabshok lā pēv nē pē yin rāmbō rī, tē yin dī, tani rīpa chūsok yāng tā lōdhī rāmbō rīndō, tē yin nā, tani kēchū yāng māng chīshū tē pārchī sōdhyā rāmbō chē lā tēne yin rāmbō, tēnjī yin gā yō sārēs.
I'm not sure about the individual backgrounds of everybody here, but I would guess that most of you are students of Sodhyo Rinpoche. Sodhyo Rinpoche has been coming to the West and coming to Australia for some time now, and I would imagine that many of you are long-term students of his.
Tani mangchi shute tani kocho rawo tani pe taba yabo yongken, musim par tambo yongken, muschigla taba jangne tani korang Yendaman da te la samlo tane te denken tindi yensaris checho yang mambos tindi injuries.
And I would imagine that many of you are extremely stable and extremely focused in your faith in Tsultrim Rinpoche, that you are also stable students, just like the one that I described, Trungpa Rinpoche's former student.
Tani pe yakboresi ta ngacho tindi ngacho tindi sang khat nyamlin shenkan ga lomata khabar to zoba chimbo nyamlin shenkan ga lomma zeti tindis gogres.
And indeed, to be a student of the Vajrayana teachings, and especially to be a student of the Dzogchen teachings, it's necessary to be a student with a stable kind of faith like this.
Tindi tini taba tambo tindi yakbo yona tini ngarang so tini zoba chimbo tonzea tini tokres.
With a kind of faith like this, or with the kind of faith like this, then it's possible for us to realize the nature or realize the truth of reality in the Dzogchen teachings.
Tindi yendi nge samlo tangna ngacho tini nafsho komma tsangma tindi reze guna ze kabore rete ta mi mambu zik tindi rendu tini tena tindi nguni tangna yung sona tini zogba chimbo zea te tokbala yang kable go mares.
So whilst perhaps I can't say that all Western students are like this, it seems that certainly an element of Western students are like this. And if they do possess this faith, then indeed to attain realization in the Dzogchen teachings is not a difficult thing. It's something we are capable of doing.
Tani ngacho terang rikpa tani lomata kabda chibayen tani kongso mi mangboz tani nyimar jela tani titsu jiri nyamlin che anda tani mi mangboz tani yar lerbo lan jone tani lojong che tan chamla de tani mangboz she te pe hale ba yagbores.
So today I was speaking with some old students of Rigpa, and they were telling me about how many students had or do practice for up to 4 hours per day, and that many students also travel to Lerabling to receive teachings. These are all extremely good things.
Tani ngacho perna sarik bandra sanyiru bandra tindi tini kortela perna ngacho tabanda ndechu chit perna lamala tabata tindi karchenezena jigshena tini kwarang chogo tindi maresamna tini sikres jete yinnayang ngarang chogo tini zogba chimbo tini ton tobala uni chani tabazia te pe karchishu hal leba karchishu res.
So if we're talking about great thinkers or figures such as scientists or philosophers, well, they may in fact be great in their respective fields, but in terms of the Dzogchen teachings, faith in the teacher, faith is extremely important.
Tani lama ziyate pe na ngarang chola tani tarwi lam tungkan tani korwa nani yar tarwa thob tarwi lam tungkan tani ngarang chola nyarji me pala nyarji kia tani sherab me pala sherab kia tindi shenkan ge mo tindi zola zege yore tani ngarang chola chona pe kwadran chimbo ya res nga cho mi soso lam chona soso lama de hal lepa tani kwadran chimbo tindi yengres.
So a lama, or our teacher, our guru, is someone who shows us the path out of samsara, is someone who assists us in generating bodhicitta when we don't have it, who's someone who assists us in increasing wisdom when we don't have it to begin with. And so on account of this, we should feel great gratitude towards our teacher. And it's said in the Vajrayana teachings that we should look upon our teachers as though they were the Buddha. It's possible that our Lama may be an emanation of the Buddha, may have a level of realization equal to that of the Buddha. On the other hand, it's possible that they may not have realization of such a high level.
Tani kang taryang sangye ge yishi, tani sangye ge gongba, sangye ge tani tawada desu tamjipo mar kheroni ngarang so ge semnang la mar tani junkhende gangtar ngarang so lama de rima to jamba yo maris.
In any case, the person or the individual who brought the Buddhist wisdom brought the Buddhist wisdom to us and placed it in our heart. Aside from our Lama, there is no other.
Tani sangye ge gongba, zogba chimbo ge tawa, de gandri da ore penda sangye ge tawa da, tani zogba chimbo ge tawa zina, gongba zina, de gandri da bore zina perna, tani nga zu chin tong ge chimzut da ore si shui ku, chimzut da ore si.
So we can liken the Buddhist teachings or the Dzogchen teachings to a reservoir.
Tani nga zu lama gipa zine, tani nga rang zu susu rang ge zayu lama, tani di yanchul la, susu rang ge zayu lama, te mayimbi, di yanchul la gipi lama zi, ta lama mambu yore tani. Desu, pe na nga zu chimzut ge nani mari yongwi, chigar wako, rawores.
And the lamas in our teacher's lineage, so all the past masters that have gone before, from our current lama right back through to the very beginning of the lineage, we can liken to a pipe linking the reservoir to us.
Tani chimzo kanala chiyo, tani chirbu nani mar yongne, ta ngarang tsogo tani kyamnang la lep sarti, tani kyamnang la yongwi chida tani nga tsu ta parkorja. So if the
teachings of the reservoir and the past masters of our lineage are the pipe, then our own Lama is like the faucet or the tap from which we get the water ourselves in our own homes. And so our own Lama is the most proximate, the most close to us. In any case, we don't currently live in a time where we can see the Buddha in face-to-face. However, the Buddha left us with the Buddhist teachings, and it is up to us to put them into practice ourselves.
Ngarang sola sargi ga tani lega te lega yo mare si te ngarang sola tindi ga sonam chimbo maybe gimsangi te nga so sargi te jetab ga mare tani sargi ga lega nda wote tani so lega yo re zina ngarang son lama ti nga sola sargi ga lega te nga so lega yo re sargi ga shawa te tani nga so lama ti nga sola lega yo re.
So the activity of the Shakyamuni Buddha, we don't have the good fortune in this lifetime to be able to hear his teachings by his side. However, in respect of us, the person who is achieving his function or who's performing the work of the Buddha in our lifetimes is none other than our own very Lama.
Teni shirtang nga tsugo teni chu teni chatat rawoda tsugo nala teni ngara tsu te lama la tapa te pe karchim borezi ne teni zega marezi mambo nga tsu zega meze.
In terms of ordinary teachings, we don't often talk about the importance of having faith in the teacher.
Tani pena rikpa chusok rawo ndiri ge teni nyamlin ngone tani nyamlin da tin nangne yang nga tsu zogba chimbola nyamlin chengen tsugo nangla tani nga tsu lama la tapa chia de pe karchim borezi ne teni nga tsu teni zegres.
However, in terms of a place like Rigpa, which is oriented quite strongly towards practice, then in this context we do talk about the importance of faith in one's teacher, and we stress very much its importance.
Tani sorger moche sanglo tangbayena tani koranga rigpa chusukona gawa sona chigban raworendu tani koranga lama changma tani kubra changma tani shini shamduwas.
If we think about Sogyur Rinpoche, wherever you go, wherever you visit a Rigpa center, he has displayed pictures of other great masters.
Tani Sogyur Rinpoche koranga chusuk nangla tani lama chog parmangpo mangpo kubra mangpo jabate chigbori mendugze ngacho akusufala korangla chutuksongze koranga langkor nangla ti ngola parteni koranga lama chama partama yerni jagjanduzi te keronzo hako yukiris.
It's not just in his Dharma centers that he displays the photos of past masters. When I met him in Oxford, he also had pictures of his lamas stuck onto the dashboard of the front of his car. He had sort of turned his car into a kind of shrine. So that way, whenever he's sitting in his car, he can look at the pictures of his lamas, think of them, and pray to them. So when we rely on our lama and through relying on them, attain some kind of realization of a view, then automatically within us a sense of strong gratitude arises towards them. In Tibetan history, in the history of Tibetan Buddhism, there was a great master that all of you no doubt know, Jia Atisha. He was an extraordinary master and one that everyone holds in very great esteem. And Atisha himself had many, many teachers.
Teni koranga shangchip ji sim shamdang nyangji shangchip ko sim ji sha ga teni lama ten lama sim yore tinani chodi teni serlang ba je gare nga cho dharma kirti je gare te khorang res.
And among all of those teachers, there were 3 who had given him teachings on bodhicitta. And among those 3, there was one in particular, Dharmakirti.
Teni Dharmakirti zate korang Indonesia ga teni lama tendis res.
And he at that time dwelled in Indonesia.
Teni joji teni korang teni Dharmakirti ga teni kumdan ne teni yang rambo lobjong shi nyamlin shi di teni korang ga gilla shangchip ko sempe yabo haliba teni san tumbu teni teni ki song res.
And Atisha, by spending a long time practicing by the side of Dharmakirti, was able to arouse a very strong, a very high level of bodhicitta.
Tani jima choji adacha pola yongine kamna tani koranga lama shirtang choji tani korang lama chogo tani lama chola tani pe tapa haliba tani shenkan tani rezi timbi kapsa penda koranga cho te lama Dharmakirti mayimba lama jamba chogo tani channi jodna tani lama tisogo mang la tani zona te korang dharmo jar kares.
In generally speaking, Atisha was extremely respectful of all of his teachers, not just Dharmakirti's. And whenever he would mention the name of another teacher, he would bring his palms together in a gesture of respect.
Tani korang ka tharmo nyangka la vya kare ma to pa tharmo sho la vya ka mare se lama jamba te sola.
For he would usually bring his hands together at his heart. He wouldn't bring them to the top of his head.
Tani lama dharma karti ko tani chan jodna tani ko lamsang tap lagba ni bo shivur la tani tharmo vya kare.
However, when he spoke of Dharmakirti, then he would bring his hands together immediately to the crown of his head.
Tani lama jamba te sogon chandib jodna ko mukchu tang ka mare shanchip tang ka mare.
And the other teachers that he had, although he felt great respect for them, he wouldn't shed tears when he mentioned their name.
Tani lama dharma karti tani chanlab jodna tani ko namgin shanchip tani tongare.
However, when he spoke of Dharmakirti, he quite commonly shed tears.
Tani korang ka loma tsogo tani joje adashala trawa kondugse tani korang ka lama kashi lana korang ka thammo nyangka la jar kondu kashi lana shuvo la jar kondu tani kashi lana shanchip tongo mandu kashi lana shanchip tongo mandu tani karere gimsan karere te lama teso kashi pe yundan chimboda kashi te tindi yundan chimbo mepa tindi reweze korang ya trawa kondugse.
And so several people asked him, why is it when you talk of some teachers, you bring your hands together at your heart, and when you speak of Dharmakirti, you bring your hands together at the top of your head? And why is it that sometimes you cry and other times you don't? Is this depending on the qualities or lack of qualities in respect of both teachers or the different teachers that you've had?
Tani jo je lan jamne ote mare ze ngarang ka lama te sola chama yundan yore ze te yundan kashi yundan yo pada kashi yundan me patte ni mare te mare ze tani gimsan ka re ze na tani ngarang ka gella shamdang nyarje da tani shangchub ka sim tani to tani lama jamba ka tani te toni tani nge lap thap ka mare tani dharma karti ka tani kamdan ni ngala tani yakbo kere te ti gimsan ji nge korang la tharmo shwo la ja kare korang kan sanjupi ne kamna ngaram tani mukchi tong gimsan te tere sone tani te pe kola pe kadran chimbore tagre sone songare.
And Tisha answered that no, it wasn't because he viewed some teachers as having good or many qualities and others having less. In his view, all of his teachers were possessed of very virtuous qualities. The reason that he would bring his palms together at the top of his head when he spoke of Dharmakirti was that it was in his presence and by his side that he was able to really arouse loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta. And it was with Dharmakirti that he received the most profound teaching and practice realization.
Tani nga tsola lama la tapa yakbo sim ka tang ni tapa pe tapa yakbo yongken tsogo tani lama la soran dip tani shina korang ka tapa ti sim na yar kiyongwe ne kumna tani korang ka sim ka nala mahki pa ta tani modi wa ta tani dungur ta tani jamja mambo sim tola yo na tesu sama lamsa par menjo orezi tapa ti yar shik chimbu mbar membar wanda ore yongwe kawse tani korang ka chik sim ka tola mari pa mambo. And
for people who do have an extremely strong and extremely ardent faith in their teacher, then it's possible at the moment or when they generate this extremely strong sense of faith that their feelings of unhappiness or suffering or ignorance, just by generating this sense of faith in their teacher and praying towards them, that these feelings can be dispelled immediately.
Tani Quran sogor mulam gane kamla lama tani jarnjariata lama go songtuyata tani yona tani Quran pe simla kebo yone nima kaji la Quran sim ganala pe demota keboda.
And then if students with such faith in their teachers dream of their teachers appear in their dreams, then for a couple of days afterwards they will feel extremely happy, extremely elated.
Tani tindi tapa yakboyo tsarwi jini penanga tso lama jigyo nanda, yana lama ndetsa nanda, soso ranga tini nyamlinga tolaya nare, soso ranga leka tolaya na, tani njugpa tang, manjugpa tang, rendugze, mendugze, tso lama ga, te korang tso la tindi lam lamtong gres lama de chawi jisiang lama ga tindi lamtong sheyong gres.
And once students are able to generate faith of this level in respect of their teachers, then whether or not their teacher is still living in this world or not, they are still able to provide guidance on their practice and on other aspects of life.
Teni ngazo susorang lamadang teni nguru rumbochi pama sambawa teni nyamdo tapajak soratamna teni namgin teni go chorwati pe yagboyong gores.
And if we make frequently or make a habit of praying to our teacher and to our Guru Rinpoche at the same time, then we can generate very good results in terms of our faith.
Tani tabat tani karchim bozo yembate tani nyamlin yagbo shinkang motso tani sosorang nyamyung go toko hako re matoba te jamatso tsawane te rishi gyaptab ko mare te tani yembazo hako mare.
The importance of faith for practice is something that people can really only verify by their own experience, their own personal experience. It's really not something that other people are able to understand, and it's not something necessarily that is able to be explained.
Pena ngaso gengka laba jamni tini pena dinala yo bichiti patar ni tini khangni tini reyona tani jod jabyong ne kumna tani korang lamsang par tini tart jinro ndo an chakpa di jinro re tinra boshini tani khoso sim marki pada sim madeva tan jikting tini mtse go thola jamra mambo yong kapse te korang lamala ta pa yak boyong khenso lamala ta pa ja tindi she jana te korang gal che tini niba shenlo zena mendu gantar tin niba te thongyong di tani dungar de so chama korang perna nyima sharni tart. So
just as the winter sun is capable of melting drops of ice, so too is the power of blessing of one's teacher able to melt away or dissolve one's suffering.
Teni tapaga shikti yarpe teni shikmbar membar onrawo teni yongi kapsa teni tela teni koranga sim koranga teni rang or korang ngo zena mendu sim koranga rangjin zena te korang hakon rogore ko lamso tendi je sambao tendi hakon rogore.
And it's possible when one's faith in one's teacher is really burning like a fire, that one can very rapidly gain realization into the basic nature of the mind.
Tatindi raising also teni lama tabate karchin yembatang teni tel loma lama la tabayak boyung kinsola susula nyamto yang boyot yung serdang tati sushat na pay mambo teni tamjid mambo shaji ore te zurji omare shat saji omare counter susu tomar tabayak boja de karchin boris.
So in terms of the importance of faith and in the importance of faith for practice, etc., there's been much said about this, there's been much written about this, and almost in an endless sense. The end of the day, though, sort of bringing it all into summary, the faith is extremely important, and we should work hard on generating it. And now I'd like to turn to the text for this evening's teaching.
Number jaro tiktam la yunga dab jigso nyang dab jet ba mi zem dlam gon jaro kan di yeshi gon jarkan yeshi chingdi ko je ja horo jon tawjini tam ne chen rola mambaram jot ta sone teni tamboti teni jipchen jamba yang la teni chopar jot teni jipchen jamba yang la teni sorate pati gimchen ki teni lama yujno rosona ta ngarang rang teni kaja karisha tam karisha na ti simchen samala panya boto ba yongya o tendizla teni sordip teni nares.
So the first verse of tonight's teaching is a homage to Manjushri. And the reason that we do this, as Khenpo Phuntsok himself said, was for the reason that the reason of the aspiration that every single word he utters is of benefit to all sentient beings.
Tanitanga lama damnak tenizia yores, shirtanga shir namba nala tendi yore, di nala taba chimbo nala yore, di nala kapertum sang dorje tabata zoba chimbo nala lama mangak zena, lama damnak tenizia yore, te pekar chimbo tsagre.
Whether it's the Mahayana teachings or the Vajrayana tradition, we talk about the instructions of our teacher. And particularly in Vajrayana, in the Dzogchen tradition, we talk about the pith instructions of our teacher or the practice instructions from our teacher, and we regard this as extremely important.
Tani lama damga zayande nga so kandizla kolgo rezena pena nga so zama lena tani perna choma tani zama nang lan devya ga chai na re jamba na chuan ta tamanda mambo tani choma chama shokchi la jini mambo zutani dugni jariona tani tin nang ne pena nga so tin nang la ta zama zona tani tin nang ne choma len tani tin nang la namlu tin nang la jorji tap tani chini yara zayan ra oz zogo reze tani shirtang nga so chuti perna tini thaba chimbu chuti perna nga so ta zama zoya ga thapshin ra ote mari zaman ra oreze perna nga so ta derma mambo ja ne perna chuma derma mambo ja tani num tini ja tani jorji mambo ja yona ta nga so ndo so kandi chini zama zo go re kandi china jimbu yore tani ti thapshis go res.
So we can liken instructions for practice to making or the art of putting together an extremely delicious meal. So we can imagine that in a kitchen, all the vegetables are laid out on individual plates. Then we have countless small saucers with various kinds of seasoning on top of it. We have oil, we have other necessary ingredients. And then it is a matter of working out or devising a way to put these ingredients together in a way that is extremely delicious.
Tenita lama damga zayate te pena nga chota nga choma ngombo tindi lugore teni nam tindi mangyong tindi lugore teni projje tindi ndab gore teni tindi shejana ta jimbo rindo ore zine ti tabshin rawotela teni lama damga zine tindi zegore.
And we can say that the instructions of our teacher are like, for example, being told to put this amount of vegetables in the pot, then to put this amount of seasonings, put this amount of oil in this particular stage. These specific instructions for how to make the meal in a delicious way is similar to the way that practice instructions directly from our own teacher work.
Teni nga so sang dorji thaba na lola kandi ze nduzena sargi ga song le kyang teni lama ga song ate karche gare ze ne kap se tindi song gare.
In the Vajrayana teacher, we sometimes say that even the advice or the instructions of our own teacher is sometimes even more important than what the Buddha in fact said.
Teni te kandi ze reze te gona nga so sargi ga mashi ba ze nga so lama ga shi ze reze te mareze teni sargi ga song ba te le lapa ze nga so lama la song ji yo reze vito reze na te mareze.
Of course, we're not saying by this that
Sanji ga mashi paz teni lama ga shi ga reze na te mareze teni sanji le lapa tele lapa z teni lama la sonji yo reze na te mareze.
So we're not saying by this that the Lama knows, our own Lama knows more than what the Buddha did, or that our own Lama knows better than what the Buddha taught.
Teni te mai na ta nga so sanji ga song le kyang lama ga song de karchim bo reze ati ze gu gimsang ka reze na teni sanji ga song de pe ja chimbo reze pe na nga so tari tinala chuma derma mambo ja teni jorji mambo ja teni nam rama mambo ja na teni ta nga so gari chini zama zo go de nga so ha go yo mare te na sanji ga ti song zate pe gyachimbo reze.
But the reason we do say this is that the teachings of the Buddha were very wide, they were very general. So they were in respect to, you might say, an extremely large meal with an extremely wide array of ingredients.
Tani lama song zate pe na ngacho zama zoya te tani ta tabshi sigore tani ota tino choma mambuzundu ta ina te gogre te gog mareze ndi choma ndang dinin jukure ma to te chaman juk mareze andao tani tabshi shine zama zoya ga tabshi te tani lama ga yakboza ha go yoreze tenja bojine ngacho sangji ga songte ngacho mix ka nyamseleng kona tani sangji ga songwate chama ngacho nyamseleng kona chawanilin thoya yo mareze te mena tani lama ga te chu chama la ta ni o tan dun nyamselin na tani jukure tinang la chama ndore zine lami tindi songre di jimchen ji sangji ga song le jang lama ga songwate karche zine zeya ga jimchen tindi ji.
So the reason that we do say that at times our own Lama, their teaching is more important than the teaching of the Buddha is for the reason that the Buddha, you might say, laid out many plates of vegetables and many plates of seasoning. Our Lama, on the other hand, provides us the instructions about which plates we actually need and which seasonings we need, which methods and techniques we need to advance in our practice. It's not possible for us to put into practice all of the teachings that the Buddha taught. And so in order to receive specific teachings on what we need and what we don't personally need to take on, this is what we rely on our teacher for, and that's why we say at times that their teaching is more important than that of the original Buddha.
Tani nyamtok yakbo yongken ga tani lama chanyi tang dabati gandhi zrezena tani laktsar hachang ga chan thumbo yongken ga zama lenken ga jama wata tenra bores.
So when we talk of a Lama who is extremely qualified and extremely advanced in their realization and practice, we can liken this to an extremely skilled and an extremely qualified chef.
Tani jimchen chi te terisi, tani jimchen nipa te gangrezena, shetang sangji ga songya te, shir semchen mambo la tani changma la mar tani song jagwa, shichib ka tani changma la song jagwa tani zirez.
And then, in general, we can say that the teachings the Buddha gave were very general and oriented to all beings, a very wide audience.
Ta yena tani semchen so tani yang raga mare zi changma nesran raga mare tani yena changma la tani songya te mi changma la tani chokar rewezi na tani ibayo mare susu la nesran mandrawa yena tani koranga natun mandrawa yo mambu yo re natun mandrawa ti so takchup chiya ga tabshi yang tani mandrawa tani go yo re.
However, not all beings are the same. The situation of beings varies significantly, and so in respect of their own particular situation, they need particular methods that are tailored to themselves.
Tani lama ngarang chu mo chola tani charji yore sa ngacho lama ta nyamdo yorang bore sonde tani ngacho mo gandhi zi lama ha ko re tani ko sona tani mundela tani chu gandhi go re samne tani ta lama te ha ko re tani indi tani di kwarang ka na napa ndawo yena napa te charji yambo yongking ka tani mamba chila tenna tani mamba kwarang ka o napa ndeta kwarang na te yore tani tela man te jengo re sambandra o te kwarang ha go re te man te jenna te zana tani napa la pe pantong re tenra bores.
And so the benefit that our Lama can bring to us is his or her capacity to understand our situation, to understand our condition, just as a doctor would understand or come to an understanding of the situation of their patient, and on this basis be able to prescribe them the proper medicine.
Perna jipsun malare pandrapo inna tani jabjir marbalo ta korang lama tani korang la dikpu mambo pe mambo tani tangyo resiti dikpu mambo tangba de so ngacho dambi chu toni tanada tini semjin la tini dikpu tang kara chokta perna ngacho ndroa mi muchu ranglik toni shana tini dikpu te tangya me pandrapo tani chiyo res.
If we look at the case of Milarepa and his teacher Marpa, then we all know the story of the various sufferings that Marpa inflicted on Milarepa. In the general course of things, in terms of everyday life, or the ordinary course of human interaction or good conduct, inflicting these kinds of sufferings on other beings is not something that we would ordinarily see.
Tani karte marba locha gatini tenji gatini dugbu tangayate mena tani jima jitsa mela ripa tsesila sang jendro ya oti yomare.
However, if Marpa had not inflicted these very onerous conditions on Milarepa, then it wouldn't have been possible for him to later attain Buddhahood.
Kartiti kapsatini jabjer marba locha gatini Milarepa la yang ngaso sherdang raboshine ta chorangal hojong ya poche gore tani chorangal nyamle ya poche gore nda o tenjin da posishiyona tani jitsa Milarepa la jini gati kwarangati jimjim ngongir to so tawani yo maris.
If Marpa had treated him in a very ordinary way, just telling him to study hard the teachings and be diligent about their practice, and had not applied to him this special consideration and special treatment, then it wouldn't have been possible for him to attain the realization that he subsequently did in his practice.
Tani ngarang so tani semna la yo pitini nat zegona nyumung pati so ma me pa chegona tani thapsi kandra zla tani me pa chego te nga so lama ga tani hako yo res tani lami te hakona tani nga so la tani thapsi te go ne nga so la tani phanto ya te chegre ti gemchen la tani nga so sanga kanala tani sangi go so wa te le jang lama go so wa te kar chegre je gemchen tindi res.
So it's because of the fact that it's our Lama who gains familiarity about our situation and prescribes us a means for ridding ourselves of our own disturbing emotions and attitudes, that in the Vajrayana tradition we describe our Lama's teachings as more important than that of the Buddha.
Tani tindi indi tani nga chon dinangla tani lama yujin norin dinangla tani sombate tani lami mangnak ze ya tere ze te nga cho sangje chu mambo yo pi nangne tani natun jig thola sar dene ta jipu to chorang cho nyamlin che ta tenju ge re sone tindi che ores.
So this victory doha is a pith instruction from Khenpo Jigme Phuntsok, and within this pith instruction he condenses 4 points, and his intention is to say that students should commit themselves or dedicate themselves to practicing these 4 points, and this will enable them to achieve good results in their practice.
Tani jite kangrezena tangbo te jokba chimbo gom sone te sonore.
And the first of these points is the importance of meditating on the Dzogchen teachings. And the second point was the importance of meditating and generating bodhicitta.
Yagbo Chungsong, Penangazo, Rapshung in Rapshung, Kimba in Natini, Kimba Tsultrim, Yana, Shanchu Senhua Domba, Yana Sanga Domba, Dombala Mambu Mambu Yoretini, Gangina, De Yagbo Chungsong is on Yorete, somebody there is.
And the third point is the importance of keeping ethical discipline. So whether that be vows of ordination or household vows or bodhisattva vows or tantric vows, the third point emphasizes the importance of keeping ethical discipline for one's practice.
Tani jipati nga chu muti myakbu che gore ze ma to ba nga chu mudbu zi na tani chuyang jib go mare ze chun jib go na tani myakbu manje ti nga chu muchu yakbu zi yo gore muchu yakbu zi yo na tani ti thola la chu jib go re ma to ba nga chu muchu ti mena la chun jib go mare muchu ti la chu go te manje da pore myakbu che gore ti jit yo na tani nga chu mambo mena ti jit go tani jing jo gore so yo re.
And then the fourth point is the importance of being a good person, exercising, doing good things, having virtuous conduct in quite a mundane sense. This, in Khenpo Jigme Phuntsok's opinion, is the basis, the foundation for future Dharma study. Without essentially being a good person in speech and conduct, then it's not possible really to progress in one's Dharma teachings. So that's the first point, the importance of meditating on the Dzogchen teachings.
Lam yangzab oxer nyangboyi tsaktupi chitsa sharoshit anat gumna dawa triki chun de kona nyanga khwawe tamsong da nga tso dzogba chimboti gum thamna da te tharwa thopa te she margu ware ta dzogba chimbo tsakti so nga tso nawa ga nangla thobna yang thuna yang te thutur je gare te ni rambu yin rambu margu wa shini te tharwa thob gare.
So the second verse, beginning to hear the teachings of the most profound path of luminous essence, this verse refers to the fact that not needing to mention the capacity of the Dzogchen teachings to enable us to attain liberation, this goes without saying, but even hearing the sound of the teachings, the words of the teachings, enables us to plant the seeds of liberation through hearing, such that people who are fortunate enough to hear these teachings will attain liberation in a relatively short period of time after hearing them.
Dzogba chimbo tonde gomna tani yangpo tani gomtabna tani tam mi halepa ga tani wangbo numbo zya tani yore wangbo numbo zya te halepa kombo re ngaso shetang ka nala pe kombo re karti tani ga wangbo numbo mangji yakbo yongken se gre ta korang ka mangji thombo yongken tani zginna dawa chuk nala yang tani thara thop gore sone tani song yore dzogba chimbo chipzin nyangtik zya ti nala tani song yore.
And it's said by Jetsun Nyintuk that a practitioner of a very high level or a practitioner who is of a particularly high level of disposition towards the practice, it is possible for such a practitioner to achieve liberation within 6 months of Dzogchen practice. And in the Dzogchen teachings it's said that the practitioners with the most solid foundations, practitioners with the highest foundations, it's possible for them in this lifetime to attain Buddhahood.
Tani pardo la tani sang yigre se ta nga tsu dzogba chimbo na la tani pardo nyamli mambo yore teso la lojong shina te pardo ni sang yigre.
And for practitioners of a perhaps more middling level, it's possible for them to achieve Buddhahood in the Bardo state.
Tani tama de yena, tani tama rawo yena, tani jitkewa shimala Kiwa Shimala, teni ngazo pena tari tsendi tola ngazo zoba chimbo wang to chet to teni nyamling yang kala kansam chi teni shina teni tse jimala teni lobjonga lombi kapsi yana lo nishi tsanga lombi kapsi teni zoba chimbo chutang chatni teni nyamling chi ne ditoni sanjegre kiwa ni matok par go maris.
And even for practitioners of the lowest standard, it's possible for them to achieve Buddhahood in no more than 2 lifetimes. So by receiving Dzogchen empowerments in this lifetime, instructions on their practice, and engaging in Dzogchen meditation to some extent, then even if one doesn't achieve Buddhahood in the Bardo state, then certainly in one's next lifetime, perhaps at age 15 or 25, upon encountering the Dzogchen teachings, then such a practitioner will attain Buddhahood.
lagjite war kundu zangdang karanyam the gaur kishing nyang tonam teni ngarang so te zogba chimbo la tari zogba chimbo wang to teni zogba chimbo chithom ni teni chayo pati ngarang so kewa mambo la teni choksak jujang mambo shibi teni ngrewa la teni nga so tari zogba chimbo tang chabare teni sama sim gabo she go res.
And then moving on to the next verse, beginning, the fortunate ones who encounter these teachings, refers to the fact that those who are so fortunate in this lifetime to receive empowerment, Dzogchen empowerments and instructions on the Dzogchen teachings are extremely blessed, and their blessedness is the karmic ripening of a great deal of merit accumulated in previous lifetimes.
Teni ta zogba chimbo gomba na teni nipati teni shanship ko sim gom gore.
So the first point, the importance of meditation on the Dzogchen teachings, and then the second point, the importance of meditating on bodhicitta.
Annin jigurung korwi semjennam tamdi sala woyongshir jan panji samshut kurtuvji rangchinzin hali tujin dors. Teni korwa nala yongken ko semjen teso tamchu pola teni nyarji Gores, Naranto Namgin, Naranto, Samne Rans, Jean Chibote, Haliba, Tenis, Chiboshin, et Richere, Tati particular the Parate Torgo, Retini, Jella Pambi, Teni Samloina, Jella Pambayo Pig, Lega, and Nateson, also Tandling Gores.
So this verse is talking about the importance of letting go of our selfish attitude and taking on an attitude of concern for other beings and cultivating altruistic thought and action in respect of other beings.
Tani Shanchivchi Simti Tini Yabos Tini Mena Tini Yang Aranso Tini Leka Gang Lena Yang Tini Yang Tarvat Hoyata, Sanjit, Kabarta Sanjit Hoya, Tendi Yong Tabgo Mare, Tina Shanshibji Semde, Maranzo Zobachimbo Gomna, Shanshib Semde, Koranti Mangela, Yindamanda Gore.
If we don't have a foundation in bodhicitta, then it won't be possible for us to attain Buddhahood. So from the point of view of the Dzogchen teachings, bodhicitta is extremely foundational.
Amangan Rugumper, the Yingo, Gom Tori de Horan the Yinjin, Tartari comes in the Egyptian, Loma Mangyam in the Lamzut, Sitanga to Shanshipchi Simti Tini Gumna, Tenis, Soso Rang in Natani, Deep Hanchuni, Tini, Yarwa Yetakan Sung Nala, Joya Mares, Shanship Kusim the Gum Tsar, Shanship Kusim Yapozo Yona, Deep Hanchu Tsavani, Tini Gansulan, Romares in Mute.
So moving on to the next verse, the door to hell will thus be blocked. This is talking about how practitioners who are able to generate stability and are able to generate strong bodhicitta in their practice will never again need to descend to the lower realms.
Me mambo's good to Chulatini, Damga Mamboshi, young Kapkaus Samnangatsun, Digumna Gavsaresam, young Kapkaus Tati Gasamarangatsun, Digumna Gasaresamni, me mambo's good Damgashi, Nitini Mambushi or reason. Reti Shanship could something also Damgaka Kishi or Mari Yindam that the Gumgo, Ritindi Lumambo Mashi, in the Gum, Turgum, Tindigo Lumambo Mashi, Losim Childrikatoni, Tini Shanship could send in Nandan Yabunyamlin Chegores.
Oftentimes, practitioners of the Dharma, they are fickle-minded. They think that practicing this kind of meditation is beneficial. Other times, they think that this kind of meditation seems like a good thing to do. In any case, in respect of bodhicitta, this is something that we shouldn't waver in our minds about. It's something we necessarily need to dedicate ourselves to. And so this verse is advising us very strongly to dedicate ourselves to the cultivation of bodhicitta.
Yet Korva Phuntsok Tadagala, yet Monbi Sambal Hopunga, Tol Harjin Ruim Chordon Chok Chunatum. Yanjim Chok the Zons hitting also Tarwaganani Yara and Korwaganani Tang around Tarwatogo, Sambagatini, Simtak Zomjit, Tini 담자 텐디 셈거나라 텐디 용야데라 님중 제그레지 님중 테니 님중 때 약보즈 요나 테니 님중 티 톡니 테니 알아서 베나 켐바이나 데 켐나 네바틴디지나 테니 포랑 코랑 게임힌 거 돈반라 오즈 테니 샹주sen 와 돈바지 테니 돈바 데 지니 테니 돈바데 약보즈 테니 송고 그레지타 돈바데 알아서 미 소소고 테니 네처 만자와레 가시가 돈바 망보 송나야 송탑거레 가시가 뇽뇽 마토 송탑고 마레테 강디즈 송 소소랑 같아잖아 초코레.
After we've generated an extremely strong resolve in our own minds to be free from samsara, to transcend samsara, then we say that we have generated a strong renunciation. And after we've done this, then we have the option of taking a variety of vows. They may be the householder vows, they may be other vows. This really depends on individual situations. Some people are able to take many sets of vows and keep many sets of vows. Other peoples are only able to take on relatively few. In any case, this is emphasizing the importance of keeping ethical discipline and guarding the vows that we do undertake to keep.
Tani ndanyamna ngandrum thamin rango mankor langtorumzo tikan sonre te indi tani kate tsutum yakbo mapchongna tani te ngansongla tani jogore indamada chongore te indi tani rangango mankor ashini tanga su chudubgona kanji dubgun denji dubgo samne mi mamboz ke chu yakbo drop sam go yore ta ina ngong korne kanji dubgo hako yo mare tani ngong korji yo mare tangbo tsutum gore tani tsutum go jog tone tani rembe yarn jona tani yakbo yongore na tani thomar tela nyamlin che gores
Hanja sona chokambula
tsutum zeyate te tsutum de machongna te ngansong lan jogores tani ta tsutum de nga chum mambo ngong korne chu yakbo drop samna ya tani kang drop go hamako ni ngong korne de yore ta ina ngong kor go mare tangbo tsutum tong gore tani rembe ro gores.
So it's important that the ethical discipline that we have undertaken to keep, we are committed to doing so. If our vows become weakened, then we potentially descend to the lower realms. Many people are very confused about how they should go about their Dharma practice. Should they practice this meditation? Should they practice this method? The most important thing to begin with, everyone should be aware of, is the foundation of ethical discipline.
Tani shertang chu tepe mambore chu zeyate do nga tani nga layang mambo yare yachimbo tinji je ta yinnayang tani nga chu nyamlin shi pikaps tani ndosumbo ti nyamlin shi na ta tin nga ndeyore tin jogore chite jokba chimbo nyamlin shi gore 니데 샹칩 그 셈케 고레 심데 소소랑가다 돈바 망보 송토나 뇽뇽 송토나 간지 있나더니 돈바 가시 되니 송고레 테 송나 테 심데 요 송나 더니 단 정조레.
So within the sutric teachings and the tantric teachings as well, there are infinite, almost seeming practices that we could choose from. So really, what Khenpo Jigme Phuntsok is teaching in this Victory Doha is that three main points are enough. Practice of the Dzogchen teachings, practice of the cultivation of bodhicitta, and also the keeping of some extent of ethical discipline. If we can practice and keep these three things in a dedicated way, then this is sufficient for us as a practice path.
Teni ngarang so nyima reje ge teni nyamlin ti nang la teni ndso sumbo te changwa zi yong na pe yakshu reje teni te so sumbo te chang nduk ta munduk ta go re.
So if we are able to really dedicate ourselves to these three things, or these three paths, then this would be very good. Whether or not we are able to do so is something that we need to individually evaluate ourselves.
배낭아조 Tsultrim Chungwazaya te nga zo ta Gimning Domba Jina Dra, Tini Domba Ganjina Domba Jitsawi Jini, te nga zo te Sung Dena, Tini Namgin Yang Yogore Mato, Nima Rirashin, te Jambachi Go Mare, Kora Nyam Masona, te Takbar Yores.
In terms of vows that we take on, they're not necessarily something that we need to work on, as it were, every day. For example, if we've taken the householder vows and we haven't weakened them or they haven't deteriorated them, then there's no need for us to renew them on a daily basis.
Teni ti tolap nga chon deni samlo tanggo re se pena nga cho ngamo teni thanschila gomgyap teni gongmo teni thanschila teni gomgyap teni shena teni pena ngamo nga cho teni lami namjur don teni jokbachimbo gom teni go re.
So if we are going to have a session of practice in the morning and one session of practice in the evening, then in the morning, for example, we could start off by reciting Guru Yoga and then doing practice on Dzogchen.
Tani gongmo, tani nga zo semjin tamjala nyangji gom, sambab shangchim shokto semkit, tani shangchim ko sem gom go re se gongmo.
And then we could reserve our evening practice session for the cultivation of bodhicitta. And if we were to practice like this, then our daily practice would incorporate all of the points that are covered in this text.
Tani di sembo de ser dana semreze tani parte che gebon ra shishana tani yang shangship ko semda ngonro da to soyang rembe tani ro gore to sunro thona pe yak boyo re changma cha changba zro thona nga cho pe na ngonro thamo shi ngonro da tani thamman nang ngonro to changma cha changwa tani yak bo zro thona te pe yak boyo re.
Of course, this text is condensing, is abbreviating the 3 points. It would be best, of course, if we were able to practice in a sequential and systematic way, beginning with the external preliminaries and then moving on to the internal preliminaries and completing these systematic practices.
Tani nga chu changma so so rang nyamling kan la kan ri kan do chu samlo z tang go re kare ta nga chacham in the use tani nge shangship ko sem gom ni ma re shin tang rang gom gun do is tani nga rang zogba chim bo gom gun do ta mend tani chi ta go re tani ka te ni ma chi kan la te som bo te chang yo na tani pe yak bo re tani tan dik song re.
So this is something that is for individual practitioners to assess for themselves. We need to ask ourselves, am I keeping ethical discipline? Am I working on the Dzogchen teachings? And am I working on generating bodhicitta? And if in one's individual practice one is managing to do all these 3 things, then that's great. You're managing to dedicate yourselves to what is a complete path of Dharmic practice.
Di sum ga nang la ta nga chu chutrim chongze domba chongze ti ni sung yore domba zi ki par mambu shen da pe mambu yore se yina sawi sawa nguni te chi chong ra o de ga re na te ni semjen la no pa ma shi wa te di nang lan da yore se semjen la no pa ma shi pa te ni chutrim go te ni sawa ngoma te te res.
So tonight we've talked about the keeping of ethical discipline in respect of keeping vows. In terms of vows, there's a lot that can be said, a lot of very complex content. But if we're going to really talk about what the basic or most fundamental, essential meaning of keeping ethical discipline is, well, it is not engaging in action that causes harm to other sentient beings.
Tani nga zo chu mambo nyamlin shi thana na yakbo yore je te ina ta nga zo sherdanga chongcher ga nala denken chi na tani le ka mambo le go re chowa ga thola nonshik mambo yore letong ko thola nonshik mambo yore te yena ta nga so nyimar tabar ni nga mambo dang da da tani chi shak mambo charya da da tani mambo lego na te khabu yore tani karte tani mayona tani nga so simbo te nyamlin she jana te tinala changman de yore.
Of course, it's really wonderful if we are able to engage in other kinds of Dharma practice. However, many of us have extremely busy lives. We have a lot of work pressure from our everyday lives, and so for this reason, it's a convenient and condensed teaching that is very beneficial, nevertheless, if we commit ourselves to these 3 points of practice.
당아서 추드나양 되니 추가 낫 야보데 하고거려 낫 저오데 야보즈 지시고래 마토바데니 가서 추 담비 추이나 추가 낫 저보데 야보즈 마시나 되니 가서 mambo즈 레데나야 사위 냠보 저보 야보레메나 양 판바침보 메바데니 젠로레.
In terms of Dharma practice, it's very important that we grasp what the main point or the key point of the teaching is. And if we're able to do this and to focus on this in our practice, then we will achieve good results. If we don't do this, if we aren't able to do this, then we won't.
Tani tambichu natti yabozu tani yabozu tamzin tani yabozu shisona tani ngazo ju mamboz mashina tinala tani chokore tani natti kangrezina tari kona shapati sumderes.
So even if we don't have a vast knowledge of or comprehensive knowledge of the Dharma teachings, by knowing what the key points are, then this in itself is enough. And so what is being pointed out in tonight's teaching is 3 main points of practice.
Tani tati ola tani mayak bochi ya tani desha kare ta mayak bochi yid kanjila zegrezinda desha kare siti ola.
And below, moving onwards, the next thing that is talked about is the importance of being a good person.
Tani tikand samshu chotang tan sone tani ngaso tidang namba kand namda nam yin nayang tani ngaranso samba samlo tangsarda tani lega leser deso tamchi ponga so mi mamboziyo na di mi jamba to tang tan go gres so samatan tumbuli tumbushi go gres ta pena so gerka tani samlo tangsarda tindi mandawa yona ya chokore da yinna mi jamba te so tam tumbuli go re ma to ba de nga so lega kawa lena chama mountain ba chigdang mountain ba tindi lena tindi ko mare ma chama ta tani tan yapo pare yapo tunni tani chama tan tumbu tindi jushe go re te tondak tambores.
And in respect of this, the first piece of advice is to work towards being in harmony with other people. So it's okay if we've got our own ideas about how things should be done, but in general, we should try to operate in a way that brings us into harmony and accord with those around us.
Tani me jambala tani tan mashinken tani so kaja shepa leka lea tsama mi jamba ga simlan rota mandrota mi jamba ga tindi ndota mando te tsawale martu par tani khorang rang kangre shina tindi shejana tani ndog mares.
So some people aren't disposed to doing this. Their speech and their action always seems to create conflict between themselves and other people. And in terms of being a good person, laying the grounds for our Dharma practice, this kind of conduct is not appropriate.
Tani tindiga me jambala tani yapo muteng kengati mutesola ngazo pok tani tanghoy nangla tani mu zuqrajun da tani zigri tani zuqrajun tani parin chokson chok tani shibore tanda ore zigres.
In a Tibetan proverb, we talk about people who are always getting into conflict with others as
Zokrajo.
Oh yeah.
Nyuja.
Yeah, we talk about them as like having bull's horns.
Yeah. Teni Korang susu rang la teni the Zenda Mandrawa Samlo Yona, the chocorese, me girk teni Samlo Tansarta, Tawa Mandrawata, Teni Yona, chocorese, Yinayang, Teni Penangaso Mo Nishisum Ngapchin, New Janda, Tendisi Yona, Azopena Chusok Chikanala, Mo Ngapchinda, or Tendisi Yona, Teni Korang Gela Samlo Tansar, Yo Machosi, Tendi Kajamari, Yo chocorese, Riti Yinayang, Koranga. Leka Ganglena, Kaja Gangri Chana, Tini, Sama, Mi Jamba Sama Latini, Mi Jambagandopa Yona, Tini, Lea Mato Batini, Jambagandopa Mena, Tini Koranga Samlo Tinti Yona, Tini Lejana, Tini Muschik Dang Martini, Korangandopa Tatalena, Tini Mitsaman Gardari Yungore, Tindukumari, Samal Tumbuchi Goris.
So this doesn't mean, as I mentioned before, that people aren't entitled to have their own ideas or their own views, but if we are to operate in a collective situation, such as here in a Dharma center where you might have 50 people or 70 people or 100 people, in general, when we go about undertaking work, then we should do so in a way that brings others into harmony and not act in a way that sows conflict. And so this is the first criteria of being a good person, a virtuous person. And the second criteria is being an honest person.
Tani Tambuzi Natinichi, or Yurgin Ramada Mambo, Mingo Koreandata, Tani Tindi Mayemba Pena, Nazo Leka Legona Pena, Leka Kabu, Kamu Tindis Legiona Pena, Yumbu Chongchong, Tani Leka Kabu Tindis Legiona, Tani Te, Naran Rangamuli, Mi Jambazilla par Le Tapshishi, Tani Leka Le Labo. Yungu Chimbu Tindisiona, Ting Aran Ranga Tini Raya Tapshishi and the Tindi Tila. Oyurgizere, Tindi Mepa, Tramu, Shinepena, Leka Kamo, Tani Yungbob Chungchung Yinkante, and Arangale Goya in nothing Arangale. They me Jambas a Korangale, Goya, Tindis Tonga Tola Reona, Tini Korangale, Tindinda Bomatoba, Tini Tapshin Ramandashine, Tini Susu Ranka Gerla San Lotane, Tindima Shiba, Trambo Shibatela, Tini Miyaboshia, checking Paris.
So in talking about honesty, we mean not being sly, not being cunning, not being tricky, not, for example, trying to push all the difficult work that doesn't generate much income onto other people and try to use all kinds of wily ways so that the easy work and the work that makes a lot of money comes into one's own hands. These are all examples of behavior or ways of acting that undermine an honest character. So being honest and being upright, this is the second criteria of being a good person.
Jisen Ronken, that is a reason. Nilk Jisen Ronken Matok Batani, Tin Dharmaraja Mambo Mashingan, that don't take Tonga Tola country in that Tendishinkan, or Tendizlas, Jutambozeade.
So we also say in respect of this, the importance of being honest, we say that a person is someone who acts in accordance with the situation at hand, doesn't try to do all kinds of tricky things, and is down to earth and honest.
Teni checking somebody garizina, Teni Samba Garuz, not Boganana, Samba Garuz, Garoziati, Teni Jampan, Janla Pansim Yunken, Daisy Rezeta, Mi Jambachila Pambayona, Narang Gaboshinken. Teni Mi Jambachila Teni Duboyona, Narangayang Teni, the Sim de la Sim Krishinken, or Tendi Sasim Namtakshinken. Tendizila Zegereze, the Temato Babena, Narangla, Gaboziona, Teni Narang Gaboshi, Mi Jambala Gaboyona, Narang Sim Latini, Margawando, Tendi Mayimba, Mitsama Latini, Pansim Yakboyonken, Dezegre, Teni, Samanani Karchishuti Teres.
And then the third thing is, the third point is having pure intentions or what is described in Tibetan as having being white-hearted, or having a pure-hearted. And in respect of this, we mean someone who is altruistically oriented towards benefiting others, someone who is happy when they're able to benefit others, and someone who approaches others with pure intentions. And this is extremely important.
So
in everyday speech, when we talk about being a good person, there are all kinds of ways that we might imagine a person could go about being good. However, for the purposes of this text, we single out 3 criteria. And you might say that if a person succeeds in being able to do all these things, then they can be regarded as a good person.
Sherdang ngarang ga rang ga tini ngarang rang la phamba zu shi samna ze ngarang la khepan yong ken da ngarang la yakpo yong ken ga leka tini ze nge dr samna tambu nge jan la phanto go res nge jan la phamba yong ken ga leka da lena tani ngarang la tinang ne phamba ngoni te tinang la yong res.
And then the second part of this verse addresses when we are wanting to achieve our own aims, when our purpose in engaging in a certain action is for our own benefit or our own profit. And the advice here is that we should first act to benefit others, and through doing so, the benefit that we derive will ultimately be our own.
Penanga so Jean Latini Pamjur yo Yongya Cheta, Tini Muzambalang Gorkortanga, Zen Tanga, Tini Chikuma Shejinada, Teniga Leka Mambo Legre, Pena Tinja Boshini, Jean Yabo Yongya Cheta, Jean La Nopa Shigres in Mimambo, or Tendichina, Teni Me Jean Laya no Payongore, Jean Laya no Payongore, Jean Nikala no Payongore, Jean Dunian Jabkumaris.
Many people who are wanting to achieve their own aims do so by engaging in activity that harms other people, whether it's by telling lies or by cheating them or stealing things. In doing so, such people don't actually work to their own benefit. They work in a way that harms both other people and themselves at the same time.
Lotong Trastic that any Samjag any Gongla, as a Chujish Songzen Gambo, any Machu Sama Chitik Ziagat in the Chum Chitik in the Songyori, the Soma Sir Duna, then in Dinaland the race.
So during the imperial era of the Tibetan Empire, 16 rules for human conduct or ethical human behavior were compiled. And the second last verse of the Doha, this is what is known as Pure Rules for Human Conduct, refers to the fact that what has just been mentioned regarding how to conduct oneself as a good person is the essence or the condensed essence of these 16 rules for pure human conduct.
This Depatang, Tartata, Maumbi, Dini Sanji, Sogo, Deni Simching Tun Dubiala, Deni Tapshi Mandrava Gior, is it Tapshi Yabu Gior, Deni Jiti Garizina, Deni Chiti, Deni Jimbaton Reze, Pena Simjin, Chula Pamba Jigona, Deni Tampo Korala, Jimbat Kalakansam, Deni Par Tangore, Deton Tambores, Deni Nipa de Garizina, Deni Korala. Kaja nyembo ya bochegu sheguri korang ke simlan ronghen ke kaja tendi sheguri te niris tampotish.
And then the line, the skillful path of the victorious ones of the 3 times and the essence of the 4 attractive qualities of a bodhisattva refers to that the Buddhas of the past, present, and future act in 4 skillful ways. The first being through generosity, dana. The second being through pleasant or attractive speech.
배낭아초 롬마 길근치 그더니 롬마지라 소경 약보 zitini koranga she samna tani koranga lobchet chia chipoti maimbar te lomatela kacho 저 초아가 돌아더니 yapkyurtezi de shit tani namgin korangla kaja 약보 냠보 든지 shit 든지 시 tani ti tola somebody tani korang 그 로마가 심라 tani 약보 tani 제용이 값스 tani korangla ta lobchet ngoma ti chigo래 tani tenja boshine ngacho simjin namla te jimbatang kaja nyammo shet tani korangla te chula nyamlin yakbochia te sambares.
So we can liken this to a relationship between a teacher and a student. If the teacher has a mind to be very effective in their nurturing of their student, then they might start off by paying attention to their livelihood situation, perhaps giving them support if they need it, speaking to them in a pleasant and friendly way, and preparing their relationship in a positive and an effective way before actually engaging in the core part of the teaching, or in the religious or spiritual context in the instruction on practice.
배나가 좀 몰라 하샤당네 배나 결혼 그 심진 그 노바 심진 그 속마지지 심진라 노바 마시지 든지 고네가 좀 파르하샤당나 드닝아랑 저 랑게양 심진 그 쪽제년 그 말에 맞도바 배나가 저 잘라 결혼 그 심진 그 쪽마지지 든지 하샤당 드닝아랑 그 심진만 보고 쪽제 든지 되나 드니 모스치그 당림지 말에 드니 티지바레.
So if the first point was generosity and the second was pleasant or attractive words, and the third was then a teaching. And the fourth point here stresses the importance of the person who is giving the advice or instructions to put them into practice themselves. So it's not acceptable if we only advise or instruct others to do things but don't actually undertake this conduct ourselves.
배낭아 전 직딩 것도라 총 잡나 더니 총 득슈디 강아지나 총 할리바가 득슈 뭐마데 강아지나 나랑 케 더니 총 고랑 것더니 총 잡사가 뭐 남긴 고랑라 더니 총 잡사가 뭐 망보여와 배낭아랑라 총강치요나 더니 남긴 나랑 그 총강가 나라 요네 나산이 자가 망보뇨 된근 그 밑에서 팜 나랑 케 고랑초 팜 딘리레소나
So if we were to take the example of doing business, then the absolute lowliest kind of or way of doing business would be if we solely thought about our own profit and approached our customers with the view of them incurring loss. So all the people that came into our shop buying our various things, if we were solely concentrated on us making money and making profit off them and them being, you might say, ripped off or as a result, then this would be the lowliest attitude with which we could engage in doing business.
드링아 좀매 망보스 그때 총 약슈레 삼고요레지 내 총 잡야티 케가 돈달라 총 잡고요레더니 코팜니 나랑 계속나 띵가랑 그 뭐에 ndr송으레 대총 약보리 삼고요레 레데 대총 약보 말해지 과랑 꼬르마치 꼬르니 든지 케나 드니 지마 총 잠근데서 지금 그런 거 산이 작가뇨 말이 드니 그런 거 총데 처음만 매바 착거래 대총 득슈서 그래서.
Many people, however, think that this kind of, or this way of doing business is in fact an excellent, a very successful way of doing business if one makes profit all the time and others incur loss. Whilst it may bring profit the first time around and the second time around, however, in the long term, customers who see business proprietors acting in such a way are not likely to patronize their business in a long-term way.
드니 총 장본자오데 가리츠 거 오르즈나 페나 페나 나랑 팜 되니 나랑 총점 그 나랑 팜 나랑라 케치장메 되니 나랑 그 산이 작한 요 된근 거 멋대 솔라더니 케요바 되니 레소나 되니 대총 정보 서그레지 때 가리리즈나 데 나랑 다리 나랑 라더니 지 케카더니 묘 말이다 옛날 네 삼니 나랑 그 총각하나니 작한 용건도 가랑서 케소나 되니 거서 남긴 되는라 용거를 남긴 요나 때 나깔레깔레 되니 나랑 영 나랑 그더니 케싹나 되니 용거를 대총 정보 뒤서 그래.
Probably a middling attitude with which we could do business would be if we were willing to accept loss in the short term, allowing our customers to gain from a transaction with a view to seeing them slowly continue to patronize our business such that eventually we would make a profit, then this, you might say, would be a middling attitude to doing business.
말에 대총 약보디 있어 그래지 총 약보디 집이 점선실에서 나베나 나랑라 코스치라 나랑라 때니 망보즈 케 망보요 말해지 옛날 때니 나랑 그 총바 나랑 그 산이 작은 용 근데서 대서 케소나 때니 거기서 남긴 망보 용거래지 용나 나랑라 케 망보 메나 때니 나랑 그 케데 야야 망보 속네 내 나랑 지마 총바 첨보 창조 그래 대그 약슈디 대총 약슈디 있어 그래지 나 밤네 되니 총존 때서 총강가 나라 용건데서 때서 켄로와디 대총 약슈서 그래.
The clarification is that this is not a middling way of doing business. This is actually the best way of doing business. To have the attitude that one can take on loss oneself and that the benefit goes to one's customers and that slowly things will improve.
Tani ngaya tezke khwarang tezke ngani jamnyum rawre te chungjangjang tsagre yakshu yang mari dikshu yang mari.
The idea that at this moment I should have some profit and they should have some profit is the middling attitude towards doing business.
Tani tenda bo shawa changma teres zote nga zo mi janla tani phamba yak bo yong ya lekka te lena tani thami yarka te rangla thoyong gore thama rangal
And it's the same in respect to any kind of activity that we undertake. Ultimately, if we do what we do with the benefit of others in mind, then eventually we will find ourselves being benefited too.
다디 나랑 대충 약순라고 써그래 샤와 강인나 때리 람상 아케소나 나랑 약본라고 써그래다 딘디 말에서 양랑보 라타나 드니 양랑보다 드니 푸랑보 용큰 거 레칼이나 드니 잔라 판바들레나 소소랑 무니 장네 그 야카티 티나리 용거 요레.
So if we're just to have a very short-term idea of what personal gain is, then we would think that to get profit in the short term is what's best for us. However, we should have a long-term notion of benefit, and according to this kind of attitude, we would see that by doing things that benefit others, ultimately we will also be benefited too. So, based on this, we can say that a person who habitually considers the benefit of others and works for the benefit of others is a good person, a virtuous person.
Teni perda zokbachimbo gomgo reson yore terina ta zokbachimbo kare gomgo resena teni ta nga so montani lojong shene teni gomgita teni shangchib ku sem gomgo reson ta shangchib ku sem kare gomgo zena teni yang ker lojong shene gomyata ta so tola teni mambuzu yore ndi to kapsarana deni ndordi pashine son yore.
So tonight we've looked at some abbreviated points for our practice, for Dharmic practice. We started with the importance of meditation on Dzogchen and then went on to bodhicitta practice, because we haven't had enough time to go into detail, though, of course, about what each of these practices concretely involve. These are things to which we need to commit much further study.
Tani nda mabjid lotsu nam soni tani tanda jinyang mari soni lan ni la soni warisi mabjid se jinyang mari gang jinyang mari zena ngaso jiang ton drya te jinyang mari jiang ji ton drna te randun dripi tsawa yimba te jinyang mari soni tamate soni warisi.
So the final verse begins with the line, "Be sure not to forget this." In actual fact, in the Tibetan, it says, "Don't forget this, don't forget this." So it's repeated 2 times. And what students are being urged not to forget is the point about doing action that is beneficial for others, and particularly the point that even if one is oriented towards one's own benefit, the best way for doing this is still to engage in behavior that's beneficial for others.
Tets songyoate teni ngacho bok teni kanshut ta teni ti charge kanshu ka charge korla teni songbare teni te par gigi shini shanna teni te la teni lukki tamju zini teni tamju mambo yore divjana tan de sores.
So the advice that we have about being a good ethical person at the end of this teaching is something that there are many kinds of texts on in the Tibetan tradition, and this is what we find at the end of this text.
Tenita ngacho kongla ti tamju kharanga nangtun ti joshati so teres tini changma nyamlin yakpo chege yoreta ti nyamlin kartin dinang tartushini ngacho kongla shapa simbote nyamlin yakpo shi ti tola ngacho namjin chowa ga nangla tani lega ga nangla mojan la pamba yakpo dune dena tani ngacho chudan jikti nika te tinangla tini ndrogres nika tin jigres.
So if everyone is able to attend to these 3 points of practice, and as well in their everyday worldly lives engage in behavior that benefits others, then we will be able to bring together both our worldly lives and our Dharma practice in a complementary way. And the final verse of this Doha is a dedication of merit. And so the merit of the words of this text, may they be dedicated to delivering all beings from samsara and enabling them to be reborn in the Western pure realm.
Teni lama yujino teni nyungni teni ta yerambo teni nyungni teni nyungji yara chakbi kapsa teni somba teni res.
And then at the end of the Tibetan version, there is a line that records how this text, this song, was composed by Khenpo Jigme Phuntsok after a period of long illness, and he composed this song after he had been cured.
So
that brings to a close this evening's teaching. And I'd like to say thank you very much to everyone.
Lasso, teni, tsamaga nyamlin, yabo jerochi.
Thank you, everybody. May you all practice well.
Teni jima tarung karte korkabyo na teni ngatso yangkir, yang tsamala ngatso chutushayanda teni yang jima kale yungare.
And I hope that in the future we have the opportunity to come together again for another teaching.
Teni ngatso so yerimbochi lomatso da penyamli yabo jeore te montani te tindushina teni jikaje teni ngatso bobatso yang teni jig lojong yabo chea da nangchula lojong yabo chea teni kala kansam soso rangrang da karwa dang chambi gone teni nyamlin sia tetsu tola ngatso bobatso yang teni harchun shegore jigna shegore rete da ngatso bobatso na teni sachan dindizla sarg teni lewing kaps yang chi lojong da so la chakin jugman teni mambo yong rete yena da ngatso deni na teni rupa chu na la teni deni ngatso japkir yakbo teni nang te na chakin pe yabo jindu teni bobatso yang shig jamne teni yabo nyamlin da so naro na.
So Rigpa students are good, working well on their practice, and I hope that they continue to work diligently on their practice and achieve good results. At the same time, the Tibetans who are here this evening, it's my hope that you are able to work on studying the Dharma and engaging in some level of practice, even though it's difficult as new people are coming to a new place to find the conditions to study the Dharma and to engage in practice. Here at Rigpa there is such excellent support from the centre, so I hope that everyone is able to make the most of it.
Thank you and Rashi Dele to everybody.
Yeah.